day 48 with Dorado, and I headed back down to North Atlanta Equestrian. My good friend TJ was still there visiting, and so I took Fledge so he could have a good pony horse. And then we have Justin, who hopped on Dorado for me since I had twisted my ankle. Really not horse related. I just twisted it coming out of my trailer. But anyways, so TJ's going to work keeping Dorado pretty close and getting him kind of used to having a rider in a saddle. And then you'll see Justin's kind of wiggling around, getting that saddle to move around so there's no kind of tension. And they do a really good job being patient with the horses. TJ is a really excellent horseman. He's worked lots of Mustangs and lots of young colts. So I was really kind of honored to have him help me. So, and as well, it's been kind of good to have help in bridging the gap, because while I could ride Dorado extensively bareback, he did buck me off a couple of days ago when we had the saddle on, and I didn't want it to form into a habit. So it's imperative to then you can make sure you continue the work and going forward, making sure the horses can be confident and that you can ride them through the bucking stages so they learn that that's not the way out. So here we have TJ kind of getting Dorado to trot. Right now Justin's just working as a passenger, so it's just trying to stay in the middle. And then they're going to work on stopping him. And Fledge, of course, is such a good boy. And he's pretty patient with the green horses and when they stick their head over him. And he's a really good energy, so I find him really helpful in bringing along the nervous horses. And also, it's really good to have a good broke horse when you're working a young horse. So it was good for TJ to have one. And right there, you can see Dorado got a little worried, and he went to scoot forward, which could have turned into a buck, but TJ was able to slow him down, which was good. And you can see Fledge doesn't get too worried about any of it. Then they allowed for the canter, and that was actually pretty good. Just getting him to move his feet, getting used to having a rider around in the saddle. Again, I've done a lot of work desensitizing him to it, but sometimes you have to do things a little bit differently. And now Dorado is cantering really nicely, and then you see Fledge is trying to show his fancy trot. So that was a pretty good laugh. He let TJ float a little bit. So now they're going to make Dorado go to the right. And you see Dorado starts to buck a little. Now TJ is going to start to yell whenever they start to buck. So he can kind of send them forward. He uses his voice. He uses the rope a little bit. Make sure the horse sends forward. And Justin's going to work on trying to keep his head up. So the horse, Dorado, can't stick his head down and kind of keep going into bucking. So now he picks up the right lead, and that looks pretty good. And then they'll ask for a stop and give him a rub. So now TJ went and got the flag. Now he has worked Dorado with the flag, and that's just to help him kind of increase the energy. So when Dorado does get a little stuck, he can help him send him forward. And he had done pretty well for the most part. And so he's going to get him to go forward. He's got a nice forward trot here. And he's just telling Justin to kind of not make sure that he doesn't pull on the halter when he goes to ask him to canter. So there they got him to canter. And so he had been doing pretty well, but then right about here, Dorado has a different plan. And that's about half-hearted about what he did with me the other day. So Justin did good to kind of stick that, and then it worked really well because we had TJ who was able then to push him forward with the flag. And so he was learning that he had to move his feet forward. He wasn't able to get Justin off. And so now they're just making him canter, keep his feet moving, and then they ask for the whoa. So again, it was pretty much half kind of hearted buck. And I was kind of happy that it happened because we were able to work through it. So kind of you want sometimes the bad things to happen when you have someone there to help you, so then they can help you work through it. So it was really beneficial, I think, for the mindset for Dorado. And we were even able to take him out into the big arena, and he did really well with Justin. It was also good to have another person on him and riding him. You see, I was on Rune filming. So it was a really good day. And I was really appreciative for all the help, and I'm really excited for kind of helping get Dorado through this little bump in the road, and looking forward to tomorrow.